right, here we are in our second video of lesson 29, and this video is a little bit different. We're going to be looking at, I'm going to be working through these stations with you. There's 6 of them, and then that's going to be all for lesson 29. So I think we'll be able to fit it all in one video. We'll see how it goes. So you're going to need your book, and you're going to need to be on page 267, and you're going to take notes while I go over the different stations with you, basically writing down the same things that I'm writing on your screens. Okay, so draw a tape diagram and write the expression to represent the following statement, then evaluate your expression. Okay, so here we have some vocabulary, and we need to know that what a tape diagram is. I think you're pretty good on those. Write an expression. So that's a number sentence. And evaluate your expression. Remember that evaluate means to solve. Okay, so I'm going to try and get my pens here because I'm working on this PDF. Let's see if it'll work. No. Okay, so let me see if I can just, you have it on the book in front of you, so I'm going to do it on this Google Doc right here. Okay, so number 1, draw a tape diagram to represent twice the sum of 2 5600ths and 7400ths. Okay, so once again, vocabulary that we need to know. There's a bit of it here, right? Twice the sum. Okay, hopefully you're thinking, I know what a sum is. It's when you add the numbers together, right? So let's draw a tape diagram. I'm just going to make a really big box, and then I'm going to break it into parts using my pen. So we have 2 5600ths, 2 5600ths, and this is a sum, right? So when we have a sum, we have the line between them, but remember how I said that line between them is like an addition sign, right? So 2 5600ths, you could put an addition sign there if you want to remember that you're putting them together. So 2 5600ths and 7400ths, and if you want to make them better to scale, 7400ths would definitely be smaller, right? And then we have twice, so that means that we have it 2 times, right? 2 5600ths and 7400ths. So there's our tape diagram. Very nice. All right. Now we need to write an expression to go with that. So 2 5600ths twice. 2 5600ths plus 7400ths twice. So we could do 2 times 2 5600ths plus 7400ths. There we go. Okay. And we're going to be solving this, right? Because it said that we needed to evaluate. So 2 5600ths plus 7400ths times 2. All right. So 2 5600ths plus 7400ths makes 10, makes 12, makes 1 more, makes 13, and 3. And when we add, our decimal goes straight down. So 3 3000ths times 2. Getting to practice all of our decimal work here, right? Multiplying decimals. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And when we multiply decimals, we look at how many we have to the right side of the decimal. 2. So 2 to the right side of the decimal. And that is our answer, 6 6000ths for station number 1. and you have that recorded in your book on page 267. If you don't, pause the video and get it on there, right? Okay, awesome. So let's look at our next one. Station number 2 is write a statement and an expression to represent the tape diagram. So this time we have the tape diagram. We just need to write a statement and an expression. So a statement is words, right, that represent this, and an expression would be a number sentence. And then evaluate means to solve. Okay, so you have that in front of you. I'm going to do it here on my Google Doc. And the first thing we need to do is write a statement. So, statement that represents this. Let's look at it one more time. Sorry, I don't have it as easily in front of me. 1 and 92 hundredths plus 8 tenths. How many of those do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how we have 4 of those? So that would be 4 times the sum of 1 and 92 hundredths and 8 tenths, right? Okay, so let's go to our Google Doc. 4 times the sum of 1 and 92 hundredths and 8 tenths. There's your statement. Now we need to write it as a expression. So we're going to write it in number sentence, basically. 4 times the sum of 1 and 92 hundredths times, sum plus 8 tenths. Okay, make sure you're writing that down for station 2. And now we need to solve. So remember, we do the things that are inside the parentheses first. So we have 1 and 92 hundredths. Sorry about that. Just erase that extra little dot there. Okay, 1 and 92 hundredths plus 8 tenths. So very important that you put it in the right place, right? Line up your decimals, line up your ones place, line up your tenths. I'm just going to add a 0 there since we're adding 3 digits on the top. 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Decimals come straight down in addition. So 2 and 72 hundredths is your answer. Please circle it on station 2. Make sure you have all of this written in station 2. Okay, these are your notes. We are working through the different kinds of problems as we go. All right, if you don't have that written down, pause the video and write it down now because I'm about to clear the screen. All right. Okay, let's look at station number 3. Station number 3, see how we're doing a few in different ways, right? Draw a tape diagram and write an expression to represent the following statement, then evaluate your expression. So now we have a word statement, and we're going to do the tape diagram and the expression, the number sentence, and then we're going to evaluate. Okay, the sum of 3 207 hundredths, 2 and 7 hundredths, and 5 9 tenths. Okay, so that S is there because there's 5 9 tenths and there's 3 207 hundredths. Okay, so here we go. We need a tape diagram and an expression, and then evaluate. Okay, so let's make a tape diagram. Nice and big. 3, 2, and 7 tenths, right? I wonder if I can type inside of here. Not really. Okay, so 2 and 7 tenths, 3 of those. So we're just going to do 1, 2, we'll 3. All right. And then 5 9/10. So 5 of these 9/10. 1, 2. You're not just watching me, you're writing them too, right? 3, 4. Oh, that's pretty small. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger here. 4, and then 1 more. Okay, so there's our tape diagram, and we already have the statement. So now we're going to write the expression. Okay, so sorry, just trying to get back to where I can type. There we go. Okay, so this looks like 3 times 2 7/100. And I think I want to put that in parentheses, right? Because I'm just multiplying the 2 7/100. And then I'm adding that on to 5 times 9/10. Oops, 9/10. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to solve by multiplying 3 times 2 7/100, and then, oh, forgot that. There we go. And adding that to 5 times 9/10. Okay, I've been doing a lot of the work here, so how about if for number 1 in Edpuzzle, you multiply 3 times 2 7/100, and then for number 2 in Edpuzzle, you multiply 5 times 9/10, and I'll give you the answer after you do your Edpuzzle. All right, nice job. Okay, so 3 times 2 7/100 is 6 27/100. And sorry, my dogs are making noise. We're going to add that to 5 times 9/10. 5 times 9/10 is 4 5/10. And then we're going to add that all together, and our final answer is 10 71/100. Remembering to put our numbers in the right place value and keep our decimal in the right place. Okay, so that is how we start with a statement, and we write an expression and a tape diagram, and then we solve. Okay, let's go to station 4. Station 4 looks a little more complicated, but we're actually just going to find the problem, the error, right? So each player on Tyler's soccer team buys socks that cost $4.95 and a shirt that costs $12.29. There's 14 players on Tyler's soccer team. Tyler says the expression 14 times 4 9/5 plus 12 29/100 models the total cost of the socks and shirts for the team. What is his mistake? What did he do wrong with this expression? Let's make that number 3 in Edpuzzle. What's wrong with this expression? Write an expression that correctly models the total cost of socks and shirts for the team, and evaluate the expression you wrote in part B for the total socks and shirts for the team. Okay, so let's go over to our Google Doc. Let's clear the screen here if we can. There we go. Clear the screen. All right. And sorry, I got to get my Google Doc working. There we go. All right. So hopefully you found the error that Tyler made. 14 times 4 9/500, or $4.95. We actually need to multiply it by both of these, right? So we're going to need to add some parentheses and make a better expression here. So it's going to be 14, not 24, 14 times $4.95 plus $12.29 because every player is going to have the socks and the shirt. So we have to multiply all of those times 14. Okay, so we have $4.95 plus $12.29. That's $17.24. And we're going to multiply that by 14. Sorry, did I say 7? It's $17.24. We have to multiply that whole thing by 14 and go ahead and do that in your Edpuzzle. Okay? All right. And your answer is $2.41 and sorry, $241.36 for station number 4. Awesome. Okay, let's go on to station number 5. Only 2 more to go. Julie forgot to put parentheses in each of her equations. Write the parentheses to make each of her equations true. Now, this is the kind of problem that takes a little bit of time and energy because you have to look at it, and there's 3 different ones here, right? So let's look at the first one. You have to look at it, and you have to think, what am I going to do to make it equal 7 6/10, right? So I need to put parentheses in here somewhere. If I put parentheses here, 4 times 2 2/10, that would equal 8 2/10, right? Sorry, 8 8/10. 8 8/10 minus 3/10 is going to be 8 5/10. So you see how I'm guessing and checking? So what if I put the parentheses here? 2 2/10 minus 3/10. Okay, let's think about that. 2 2/10 minus 3/10. Just going to use my Google Doc as a blank. 2 2/10 minus 3/10, right? Okay, no backward subtracting. Change it to a 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now I have 1 9/10 and times 4. 1 9/10 times 4. Is that going to work out? Let's see. 1 9/10 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3. Aha, look at that. And I have a 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place, 7 6/10. So my parentheses are going to go here around the 3/10 and the 2 2/10, meaning I'm going to subtract that first and then multiply by 4 to get my 7 6/10. Okay, so my next one, 3 22/100 is equal to 5 2/10 plus 1 24/100 divided by 2. So are you going to add these two together and then divide by 2? Or are you going to divide this by 2 and then add it to the 5 2/10? All right, you might have some ideas just looking at it, because I'm thinking if I divided this by 2, right? 1 divided by 2, that would be about a half. I know there's a little bit here, but it would be about 5/10, right? And 5/10 plus 5 2/10, well, that's going to be more than 5 because I have 5 right here. So what if I added these two together and then divided by 2? 5 2/10. So let's just say 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. See, I didn't even have to solve. So I'm going to add these two together first. So one parenthesis there and the other parenthesis here. Sorry, I can't write on that. But basically, these two are going to be inside your parentheses. Oh, maybe it will let me. No, not really. Okay, these two are going to be inside the parentheses. Just like how up here, these two were inside of my parentheses. All right, then we have one more to look at. 3 1/10 plus 5/10 times 2 plus 1 7/10 is equal to 8 9/10. So once again, I'm looking to figure out where I'm going to put my parentheses. I might have to do a little math. I might just have to do a little thinking, but the first thing I try might not work out, right? Okay, so I'm trying to get 8. So if I did 5 and 2/10 times 2, that would be 1, right? So 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 and 7/10, that's almost 2, right? 1, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it feels like that one could be the right answer, but it's not quite enough. So let's try something else. I don't know if I can. There we go. Just try and take the color off. There we go. All right, so I'm just looking for what I'm going to be doing first, because that's where I'm putting my parentheses, is what I'm doing first. So what if I added these two together and then multiplied it by 2, because I want to try and make it a little bit bigger, right? Okay, so 3 and 1/10 plus 5/10, that's 3 and 6/10. 3 and 6/10 times 2. Okay, let's just do that one on our Google paper here. 3 and 6/10 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1. So that's 7 and 2/10. Okay, I put these two together. I multiplied by 2. 7 and 2/10. Oh, that feels pretty good. Plus 1 and 7/10. So 7 and 2/10. Plus 1 and 7/10. 7, 8, 9. Decimal goes straight down. 8 and 9/10. Okay, and that's 8 and 9/10. Now, where do my parentheses go? I'm going to add these two together, and then I have to multiply it. And then I'm going to add that on. So my parentheses go right there. Okay, awesome. Very good. All right, on to station 6. And this is one that some of us like, right? Because we don't always have to do the math. We're just comparing the expressions. So let's see. We have 2 and 7/10 plus 1 and 9/10. Look over here. 2 and 7/10 plus 1 and 9/10. You see how these two are the same? Right? This one I'm multiplying by 85/100ths. And this one I'm multiplying by 1 and 400ths. So this one is going to be smaller because I'm multiplying it by something smaller. Let me see if I can write on here. No, I can't write, but I want to make a less than sign. Oh, maybe I can do a little. Can't really do anything. So I want to do a less than sign, and just so make sure that you're clear, your less than sign is looking like this. So for A, we have less than. All right, nice job. And for B, let's see, 1 and 4/10 minus 8/10 times 6 and 65/100ths plus 5/10. 6 and 65/100ths plus 5/10. I see a pattern here, right? Times 3/10 plus 3/10. So this is 3/10 plus 3/10, so that would be 6/10. This is 1 and 4/10 minus 8/10. Okay, let's just go over to our Google Doc. 1 and 4/10 minus 8/10, right? 14 minus 8 is 6, 1 decimal place. So 6/10. Do you see a pattern there? This one was 3/10 plus 3/10 is 6/10. This is 6/10. They're both 6/10 times this expression. So our answer is going to be for part B, equal, right? Awesome. Make sure you're writing all of this down, even the math, as we do it together, right? Okay, part C, 6 and 1/10 times 7 times 2/10 times 9. 4/10 times 9, and 8 and 3/10 times 7. Okay, so 4/10 times 9 is comparing to 2/10 times 9. They're not the same, but you can see this one is a little bit bigger, right? And here we have 8 and 3/10 times 7. And here we have 6 and 1/10 times 7. So this one is going to be, let's see. I almost feel like I want to solve. It doesn't say that I can't solve it. 6 and 1/10 times 7. 8 and 3/10 times 7. 2/10 times 9. 4/10 times 9. Okay, I'll tell you what. You do the math and put it into Edpuzzle and see what you can come up with. And this is we're only going to have 2 videos for lesson 29, so that's awesome. And let's pull up our funny, let's see if I can get back to our funny babies. All right, here we go.
We're not going to go for a walk? Not quite yet. I'm just going to relax for a little bit.
All right. Thank you for your hard work.